Hello and welcome to the lesson. Today we are going to begin on a new chapter known as Resource Stewardship. This chapter has 6 sub-chapters. One is Legal and Institutional Framework in Resource Management. 2, Resource Mobilization. 3, Public Sector Planning and Budgeting, Budgeting Process and Budgetary Expenditure Control. 4, Resource Utilization for Delivery of Goods and Services. 5, Reports and Accounts for Funds, Outputs and Results. 6, External Audit for Oversight, stroke External Accountability, Public Audit Act. These are 6 subtopics. Today we are going to study the legal and institutional framework in resource management. But first of all, what's the meaning of resource stewardship? That is the title of the topic, resource stewardship. Now, resource stewardship refers to the responsible planning and management of resources to ensure their sustainable use and preservation for future generations. It is a concept that applies to various types of resources, including natural resources, financial resources, human resources, information resources. Now, by natural resources, we mean forests, water, minerals, land, and biodiversity. So, resource stewardship in the context of natural resources focuses on conservation, restoration, and responsible extraction to maintain ecological balance and support human and to support human well-being. You understand? That's the meaning of stewardship in natural resources. As for financial resources, that involves the prudent management of financial assets, budgets, and investments in order to ensure long-term financial stability and sustainability. Then we have the human resources. Stewardship in human resources refers to the effective management of an organization's workforce, including recruitment, training, development, retention, and also maximizing productivity to achieve organizational goals. Now, for information resources, stewardship in information resources encompasses the management of data, management of knowledge, and also the management of information systems to ensure their accuracy, security, integrity, and accessibility for decision making and innovation. You understand? That's the meaning of resource stewardship. It is the responsible planning and management of resources to ensure their sustainable use and preservation for future generations. And I've said it encompasses or applies to various types of resources like the information resources, the human resources, the financial resources, and also the natural resources. Where natural resources include forests, water, biodiversity, land, minerals, and so on. That is the meaning of resource stewardship. In this lesson, we are required to outline the legal and institutional framework in resource management with particular focus on the Public Financial Management Act of 2012. That's our focus in our today's lesson. Legal and institutional framework in resource management. In resource management. This is Public Financial Management Act. So that is we have to look at the provisions provisions of the Public Financial or Finance Management Act. Now, the Public Finance Management Act is the cornerstone of the Kenya's legal framework for resource management. All right? It provides a comprehensive and an integrated system for planning, budgeting, transparency, accounting, and also reporting of public funds. It does what? It provides a comprehensive and integrated system for number one, planning, number two, budgeting, number three, expenditure, number four, accounting, and number five, reporting. It is an act of parliament that is the cornerstone of Kenya's legal framework. When you are talking about legal framework for resource management in Kenya, then the document that helps us get that information is the Public Finance Management Act. So in this lesson, we are going to outline the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act in relation to resource management. One, budgeting. Budgeting. Now, the Act establishes a clear process of the preparation, the approval, and the implementation of budgets, both at the national level and at the county levels. It emphasizes the need for public participation, for transparency, and fiscal discipline in the budgeting process. All right? Provisions. The first provision is on budgeting. So the Act establishes a clear process for the preparation. The Act outlines the county budget process, the national government budget process, what steps must be taken in the process of preparing the budget, in the process of approving the budget, who is supposed to initiate the process, which institutions are involved, and which institution is to approve the budget. And it also outlines the implementation process. How is the budget to be implemented at both the national and the county levels? 2, expenditure control. There are provisions on expenditure control. The Act sets out stringent rules. The Act sets out stringent rules for authorizing and controlling public expenditure. It requires all expenditure to be authorized by law and supported by adequate documentation. Expenditure control. 3, there are provisions on accounting and reporting. Accounting and reporting. The Act mandates the establishment of a robust accounting and reporting system to track the use of public funds. It also requires regular financial reports that are to be prepared and submitted to the Parliament and to the public. Accounting and reporting. 4, we have provisions on audit and oversight. audit and oversight. The Act provides for independent audit and independent oversight of public finances by the Office of the Auditor-General, and that ensures that funds are used for their intended purpose and that financial management practices are sound. Audit and oversight. 5. Fiscal responsibility. Fiscal responsibility. The Act emphasizes the need for fiscal responsibility by setting limits on government borrowing and requiring the government to develop a debt management strategy. So these are key principles or provisions of the Public Finance Management Act. Then we have institutional framework. Institutional framework. The Act also provides for institutional framework. It establishes a network of institutions that are responsible for implementing its provisions. So all these provisions must be implemented by institutions. So the Act specifies which are the institutions that are to implement the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act. You understand? The Act goes further to establish a network of institutions that are responsible for implementing provisions and ensuring sound financial management in the public sector. The first institution is the National Treasury. The National Treasury is responsible for the overall management and coordination of the public finance management system. It is the center, the coordinator, all right, responsible for overall financial management of, all right, that is the first institution. Parliament is the next one in line. Parliament approves budgets, oversees public expenditure, and holds the executive accountable to. It holds the executive accountable for financial management because it is the role of the executive to implement the budget. The Parliament plays an oversight role by holding the executive accountable. You understand? It holds the executive accountable for the financial management. Then within this system, we have the county treasuries. County treasuries. Other than the national treasury, we have treasuries at the county level who are responsible for financial management at the county level. At the county level. Controller of budget, number 4. The controller of budget is an office within the public finance management system that oversees the implementation of budgets and ensures that expenditure is within legal limits. Controller of budget. 5. Auditor-General. The Auditor-General's office. The Auditor-General conducts independent audits of public finances and reports to Parliament. Then lastly, we have Commission on Revenue Allocation. Commission on Revenue Allocation. The Commission on Revenue Allocation advises the equitable sharing of revenue between the national and the county governments. So that is the institutional framework that is provided within the Public Finance Management Act. We've outlined the key provisions of the Act and the institutional framework. The institutional framework. That is a resource stewardship. Resource stewardship. Here is your today's assignment. How does the Public Finance Management Act ensure transparency and accountability in the management of public resources in Kenya? Number 2, what are the specific roles and responsibilities of key institutions like the National Treasury, Parliament, and Auditor-General in the Public Finance Management Framework? 3, what are some of the challenges in implementing the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act effectively, and what measures can be taken to address them? 4, how does the PFM Act promote public participation in the budget process, and what are the benefits of such participation? Thank you. God bless you. Bye.